Welcome back to the video, and we have Gary Vee talking about brands and IP in the NFT space and why he's so bullish on it. We'll also be talking a little bit about a Jeremy Padower speculation and if they are actually partnered together or if they're in talks. But without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. All right, so in this one, we have Gary talking about brands, legacy brands, and those physical collectibles and transitioning into NFTs and why he's so excited about it. And personally, I'm excited about it as well. But this is the same type of, I guess, not argument, but this type of discord I've been having with people that don't understand NFTs, and why they're so important, and why brands are paying such a big attention to the NFT space, and why it is literally the future, in my opinion, or how it could be the future. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and roll the clip.
Like I did 2 years ago, a Thundercat at a garage sale for $1, in package still, LJN, may they rest in peace. I sell it on eBay for $280 and I make all that margin. eBay makes all that margin. FedEx makes all that margin. And whoever owns LJN these days makes none of it. Whoever owns Thundercats makes none of it. VeFriends, in 12 months, has done $250 million in secondary sales.
So let's just back that up a little bit and go over that. He just mentioned the card company out of business, right? But if they had NFTs launched at the time, maybe they wouldn't be out of business. But just to notate that the companies all around that specific trading card, everybody made money but the card company and the IP owner. So it is important to notate that, because with NFTs, there's royalties attached to those and the companies make money. So, and he just mentioned $250 million in royalties on the secondary market. That is absolutely just insane. Can you imagine now how much money he has, obviously, but how he can go out with those funds and create a business that actually matters, and an IP and brand that actually matters. So that's vitally important. And we're going to get into that. He goes even further of why it's so important for brands to not only pay attention now, but in the future when you're launching a future business. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
I have 3 different series in play. I'm getting between 5.5 and 10% royalties on every transaction. These are staggering economics on an EBITDA level.
If it trades and trades and trades.
That's how profound royalties are. I always say, if George Lucas was lucky enough to have his timing down, because if you look at how thoughtful he was when he made his Kenner deal and why he didn't make other deals, if he had done that when NFTs were happening, let's say Destiny had NFTs and the blockchain happening in 76 and 77, there wouldn't be anybody in a mile of his wealth.
So that's very important to notate, obviously. Yeah, it's just, if you consider that, and not only brands that, imagine if Star Wars could have went out and maybe created their own version of their own Disney and had meaningful, basically projects on the side other than just Star Wars. Maybe they could have bought other brands and IP as well and launched other big movie titles, other cartoons, anime, and had way more liquidity to play with because they were earning royalties. So it is important to notate that, and the type of discord I like to share with people that may not understand NFTs just yet. But let's go ahead and keep rolling.
Today. And so I think for everybody here, it's very rare to actually have IP that matters.
And him just saying that, it's really, it's very hard to have your own brand and your own IP if you're just starting out. And that's why I think he's mentioned before how NFTs could go to zero. I think he recognizes it's kind of like establishing a brand new brand. Now, there's a couple of projects that have broken through the, the barrier and the noise, if you will. Doodles, obviously there's the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Doodles is one of my, I do like what they're doing in terms of building an IP that matters. Gary with his VeFriends. So yeah, I think that with the NFT space, how I look at it now is, how are these NFT projects really going to break through the noise and build a brand and IP that actually matters? Because it's quite difficult to do. When the hype runs out, you definitely need to have something, to keep that project, up or exciting, if you will. And we're going to get into why it's so important for some of these projects to launch as an NFT first before anything else is considered, like a book or whatever, right?
With early technology, but the royalty component stays in place. the IP building stays in place. As a matter of fact, I will tell you, I can't find a logical reason why anybody on earth wouldn't start an intellectual property first as an NFT to establish their economics. There's absolutely no sense to start.
So basically saying it's a no-brainer to start your intellectual property, your brand as an NFT first, because the tokenomics, obviously the royalties are attached to you forever and your intellectual property, right? So versus you going out there and, you know, having a cool book or cool comic in the physical and you go and sell all those. Well, you got to keep creating more comics to make more money because you're not going to earn royalties on it if it's not an NFT. So yes, it's vitally important to have NFTs, and that's why brands, we're seeing them pop up all over the place. And this is why I think that, you know, platforms like VeVe, collectibles on VeVe, and things like branded NFTs and branded NFT experiences, that's why I'm personally so bullish on, because I don't see these brands, you know, stop promoting their own NFTs, especially these are the first appearance of major characters to the blockchain like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and many, many more. And other fashion brands too that are massively important, like you have Louis Vuitton, you have Gucci, and many other, you know, fashion luxury brands coming to the NFT space and doing their own drop. Now, I think it's important that they drop on the right platforms and do the right marketing and not just stick their toe in the water. I think it's more meaningful if they really dive into the NFT space and take it very serious. But he does mention all of that. And we're going to go ahead and skip forward to the Jeremy Padwar part, where essentially he is talking about toys and how he wants to explore more in this area and do all the things that actually matter in terms of creating a real brand and a real business around it.
Looking at him right now, I said, hey, I'm gonna probably do stuff with Hasbro, Mattel, and Squishmallows and Moose Toys, and like, you need to understand how I think about the world. I think about the.
So he's just saying that he wants to take VeeFriends and create, you know, more assets and more fun and experiences via physical and more digital. But yeah, that's one of the things he wants to do. And he said Squishmallows in there, which if you didn't know, you know, Squishmallows is actually ran by Jazzwares. And we know that Jeremy Padwar is a partner with Jazzwares, helped build this company. And they have some really massive brands. You have Cocomelon. We've gone over this quite a few times on the channel, but if you didn't know that, now you know. Fortnite, Halo, Pokemon, you know, Marvel, Roblox, and they have their own thing called Squishville, and these are like plush toys. So if you didn't know what that was, now you do. So anyways, it seems like he might be in talks with some of these brands based off of this video. You know, he mentioned big major brands, but anyways, this was just kind of speculation, a part of this video. But it is interesting to see Gary Vee be so bullish on these brands and IPs, and maybe possibly talking about, you know, partnering with Squishmallows, which is kind of cool. A big win for Jeremy and Jazzwares if that's the case. But it just shows you how connected they all are and how important it is to, you know, take brands serious in the NFT space. I think a lot of macro NFT YouTubers so focused on, you know, these PFP projects and what they're doing over there. Meanwhile, there is all these brands and meaningful IP that is like over here just hanging out by itself. And I think over time it's just going to shoot up, and then people all of a sudden are just going to notice, right? And, you know, if you've been on VeVe for a while, you already noticed that that's the case. Like these NFTs you've been holding, you know, that are meaningful, like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, many others, even the comics, and there's still huge comics to come. We're already seeing these crazy numbers on the app versus a year ago, how low priced they were. People didn't really understand the value of them, and we had collectors come in there and really take over. And this is just going to be continuing trend. I think these NFTs that are branded and meaningful IP are just going to continue to go up in value and, you know, end up in the hands of collectors more and more. And yeah, so this is all I got for this video. Let me know what you think about all of this. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video at the blockchain. Be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you later. Peace.